So my background is education. So I was a public school teacher and administrator for over 30 years. And so through that process, you meet a lot of people. And coming back from Dallas and thinking about wanting a facility here in Oklahoma, I reached out to Dr. Stephanie Schellenberger at Southern Nazarene University. She's 40 plus years of knowledge and expertise in strength and conditioning and kinesiology and all those kind of things. And I asked her, would she be willing to come on board as a advisor? And her immediate response was, let me pray about that. Mm-hmm. And so 3 or 4 days later, she calls me and says, no, I'm not going to come on board because I've got somebody better than me. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't know how that could possibly be. But she sends me the contact information for Jeremy Johnson. And I'd never met Jeremy. So I texted him, introduced myself, and just it's so interesting as you have conversations later. Jeremy recently told me he thought I was actually just trying to get money out of him as an investor, and I needed something from him, but it was a lot more money. Yeah. And anyway, so he didn't respond for several of my texts. He just, ghosted me. And but I kept after him, and he said, all right, why don't you bring Hudson to my house? He has a home gym, and he said, let me just meet you guys and work Hudson out a little bit and see what happens. And so we show up, and what I think Jeremy later tells me, Hudson is the kind of man that, you tell him, all right, we're going to do 20. He's, 25 and going. Mm-hmm. It's just whatever, I like that same mindset. Is I like it when somebody tells me, okay, this is what I want you to do. So I'm just following directions. Just tell me what to do. And Hudson really worked hard, and I think surprised Jeremy at one is willpower and, just perseverance. And so we have that workout. Jeremy goes to his commercial gym to work out, and he said, I went into said I'm just sitting there kind of overwhelmed by all what happened with that workout with Hudson, and he had gone to the locker room to change clothes at his other facility, and he said normally it's just packed with people, but that day it was empty. And so he said, I'm sitting there getting cleaned up, and this guy walks in, and we start talking, and he asked Jeremy how his day went, and he said, wow, I had this, workout with this kid, and kind of told him what happened with Hudson and what we were asking him to do, what we were thinking about. And that guy said, well, what you don't know is I'm a neurosurgeon here in Oklahoma City. And all I got to tell you is we have to have a place like that in Oklahoma City. We're having to send people out of state. Mm-hmm. And so that was a lot of validation to Jeremy. And so we started the process of Hudson working out at Jeremy's house. And in the meantime, I had one of my jobs before I retired from education was I ran special services for Bethany Public Schools, and we had been looking at some different facilities for some different school programs, and I had remembered one particular facility in Bethany that came to mind, I believe, divinely. And so long story short, I inquired about that, and it just so happened that it was available. And so that opened the door for a facility, and had to do several modifications to make it adaptive and accessible, and right in the middle of COVID, which, to tell you the truth, was a blessing too, because we really needed that time to, and it got us through that, and we were able to operate out of Jeremy's personal gym. So that's kind of how we got here. So we came up with the 34 project as the name for our adaptive strength and fitness facility, and 34 being Hudson's football number. Mm-hmm. And we've been going gangbusters ever since.